West African states have met in Abuja in a race against time following the ultimatum for the junta in Niger to restore power to the democratically elected government or risk the use of force. Defense chiefs from Mali and Burkina Faso were absent, as well as those of Niger, Guinea-Bissau, and Guinea were also absent. Mali, Burkina Faso, and Guinea declared support for the junta in Niger, threatening that any application of force would amount to the declaration of war. We have details of this report.
It's a test of will. The junta in Niger has less than 5 days to restore power to the democratically elected government or risk the use of international force, according to ECOWAS. The military-led government of Mali and Burkina Faso have warned against the use of force, while Guinea is also supporting the junta. France, Italy, and Spain had all announced evacuations from Niger for their citizens and other European nationals. In Abuja, Nigeria's Chief of Defense Staff presided over a meeting of ECOWAS defense chiefs on Wednesday.
The political instability in Niger is a source of grave concern for us all. It threatens our shared vision of a peaceful, secure, and prosperous West Africa, a vision that is impossible to achieve amidst political upheavals and disruptions to constitutional order. Therefore, it is incumbent upon us to deliberate on this issue and chart a course towards resolution, in accordance with the principles of democracy, rule of law, and respect for human rights.
The goal is to get the junta in Niger to give up power amicably.
The task of restoring democratic governance in Niger is fraught with potential hurdles and complications. However, we cannot afford to be hamstrung by these challenges. Instead, we must confront them head-on, drawing upon our shared experiences, wisdom, and the strength of our collective resolve. Our decisions will send a strong message about our commitment to democracy, our intolerance for unconstitutional changes of government, and our dedication to regional stability.
The absence of the defense chiefs from Mali, Niger, Guinea-Bissau, Burkina Faso, and Guinea affirms their stance. Any escalation of conflict or outright war would have severe consequences in the region. Sifon Asian TVC News.
After 10 years of privatization, the Nigerian electricity market operators say they are set to hold a review summit to discuss issues surrounding the Nigerian electricity supply industry. They disclosed that the 7 trillion naira direct investment in the sector by the federal government has not yielded positive outcomes. Before we bring you that details, we're joined now for more on the observation, particularly in Niger, and the plans by ECOWAS to ensure that democratically elected government is restored. Crisis communication expert Chidi Omeje joins us live from Abuja. Mr. Omeje, talk to us about the restriction that ECOWAS seems to have as we speak when you consider the threats coming from other countries like Burkina Faso and Guinea.
Okay, thank you for having me. I think that the situation in Niger Republic actually calls for serious introspection, serious circumspection, as a matter of fact. Nigeria is central to these issues, and we have to be very careful about it. Don't forget that as we speak now, Nigeria is the linchpin in the regional security force that is trying to deal with the international, or rather the ISWAP, talking about the terrorist organizations that are threatening the electoral region of the country. And Nigeria, the Niger Republic, Chad, Cameroon, and of course some elements of Benin Republic are part of this electoral something. So if you, as linchpin, begin to orchestrate, an antagonism towards the Niger Republic, you are bound to see a rebound on your country. So I will, really advise that apart from the braggadocio apart from all the, the talks about how we are powerful and all that, we must remember that Nigeria has a very wide border, borders with Niger Republic, from Borno State to Sokoto State to Katsina State. We have borders with Niger Republic. Now, any issue that comes from Niger Republic will rebound in the country. So we must be very careful about it so that we don't have a spillover from that particular thing happening over there. Because already we have issues on our hands. We have the terrorists, the ISWAP and Boko Haram guys, dealing with us, and we deal with them there, as a matter of fact. So we must be careful so that we do not conflict issues in the sub-region.
So when you, absolutely, when you put the cost and benefits on the weighing balance, how would you advise ECOWAS moving forward with its planned military intervention, considering that countries like Mali and Burkina Faso are also speaking tough?
Yeah, listen to me. I do not advise any military intervention at all. They must have some element of restraint. I advise further dialogue. In fact, if you want to deal with them, you can deal with them with sanctions. Deal with them with non-flight zone stuff. But do not come up with any military intervention because the consequences will be very severe. I'm talking to you as a Nigerian who will be impacted by whatever is going to happen over there. Because anything that happens in the Niger Republic, Nigeria will be the most hit. Because you're going to have a spillover, you're going to have thousands of Niger Republic guys coming into our country. People will die over there. The country will be totally obliterated. And Nigeria, as the closest neighbor to the Niger Republic, will bear the brunt. So I expect our government to be circumspect, even though I understand that our president is the current chairman of ECOWAS. And of course, our CDA, our Chief of Defense Staff, is the leader of the ECOWAS CDSs. But we must consider our own country first, because if you just delve into this matter and begin to take the lead and say you want to go into military intervention there, you should expect that the spillover will be on us. We have to be very careful about that.
Indeed.
That's what I'm talking about.
I hear you, Mr. Major.
I recommend dialogue.
Absolutely. There are some who would also question how much resolved dialogue and diplomacy, have achieved in other parts of the sub-region where we currently have interruption of a democratic system. But that's our time. Chidio Major is crisis communication expert. He joins us live from Abuja. Thank you for your contribution.